Were there any surprises for you or anything other than what you've already said about the benefits that you got? Was there anything else surprising for you?
I think the thing that surprised me, aside from the camaraderie, the friendship, the family that we really became through the Clarity course, was the impact, the direct impact it had on my work. So I had a situation at work. I'm, looking forward to retirement, and really am going to retire now in about 2.5 years. So it's coming up. But what I found was I had the opportunity in our school district to be hired as the superintendent. And I was approached about it and I declined because it really was not part of my plan. It is not what I wanted. It's difficult. Superintendent is a hard job. And there was a board of education that I didn't get along with every single board member, which I'm okay with. But also, you have to be able to work well with board members because they're your bosses. And so I declined and felt very good about that, but felt very comfortable about that, was surprised by that, by the opportunity to have the position and to decline it. Was speaking to a friend about it a little bit later that week, and he said, why aren't you doing this? This is something that you would be good at, you can do. And I just said, I don't get along with all the people. I don't think it's a good idea. And he just said, I think you're making a mistake. And he said that, and I thought about it for an entire weekend, sat down and wrote out, well, in what circumstance would I be willing to do this? And that's literally what I did. And the things that I wanted were, number one, I would agree to do it as a transition plan for 1 year so the board would have time to be able to find their permanent solution. I'm not the permanent solution because you're looking for somebody who's your forever person. I'm your 3-year person at most. The other thing that was really important to me was the team. I work with other assistant superintendents who are unbelievable. I was very concerned that any one of them might be leaving. And so I talked to them ahead of time and said, I'd be willing to do this if you would be on board with me, and this is how we would share the job, and this is how we would all be compensated for the job. This is what I would do. And if you're not okay with that, that is fine with me because I'm very comfortable with having said no. Well, the entire group was on board. So I said, what I need to do is I need to call the board members and talk to them because it is not like me to shy away from a difficult conversation. And I need to have difficult conversations with them to make sure we're all going to be in an okay place. I did that. It worked spectacularly well. We got to a very good understanding. And I'm spending this year as the interim superintendent in my district for 1 year only, which is exactly what I wanted. So the surprise for me is I came into the Clarity course looking to be retiring. I ended up being promoted to superintendent in my school district for 1 year, which is all I wanted because I am still planning to retire. That to me is the impact that real life, I knew what my boundaries were. I knew what I needed for this to work for me. I was not afraid to say that, not afraid to have difficult conversations. And I think that in and of itself, I could not have done 6 months before. I could not have done a year ago. Those were things that learning who I am, what I value, and what's important came out of the Clarity course, had a direct impact on the course of my entire career. It changed everything. And a couple of phone calls. It just made a huge difference. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I'm also very happy that I'm doing it for 1 year. And then I'll go back to my previous job for the next 2 years before I retire. But those are the things that are so unexpected that, and I'm incredibly grateful for. I'm incredibly glad I did it. Could not even imagine having done that 6 months prior. It really was a game changer for me in the Clarity course to figure out who I am, what I want, and to be able to express that and make that happen for my entire school district.